What is going on, people of YouTube? My name is Kurtyoy. Welcome back to a brand new video. Now, I've been very absent in the last few weeks, if not about a month or so, but hopefully I'll get back into swing things. This week, hopefully, before the next game week, we've got the review today, we've got the preview to, well, today as well probably, and differentials, and hopefully a channel update coming, tomorrow as well. No captaincy video just yet. Maybe that'll be introduced next week. But today we've got the review of the game week that let a lot of backers down, and it was Man City's to laugh about. Every other big club had dropped points. Arsenal lost, Chelsea, Liverpool drew, Man United somehow drew. You got Spurs also somehow drawing, and Man City winning 4-0. So without further ado, let's get in and start, as always, with this episode with the goalkeepers. So the four goalkeepers that performed best points-wise were Goalkeeper on 11, Manone on 10, Heaton on 9 and Mignolet on 8. Some good picks there. I think Goalkeeper now is playing and Hull under a new management look a lot better. They've made a few decent signings. I was worried about them because they did lose Livermore and they lost Snodgrass as well. But if they show they can hold their own at a place like Manchester United, hopefully they'll be able to power on. So Goalkeeper is like a good one for the second goalkeeper. Don't put him as your main goalkeeper and have like another 4.0 goalkeeper. Make sure you've got at least one that is like Heaton's level. That's that sort of keeper, because you don't want to be risking having two shite keepers. Manone, I'd say steer clear on. Yes, Sunderland got 0-0, but are they going to do that every week? I don't think so. I think it was just a one-off, and this time when they parked the bus, it worked. You also got Heaton, as always, picking up the bonus points. Who else is going to pick up the bonus points in Burnley games? And Mignolet, it's an interesting one. I'd say Heaton is probably the best pick, because it's Heaton. He has been a fantastic keeper for FPL purposes. Djukupovic also, maybe a Heaton-Djukupovic duo really could hit things off for you. So does that Mignolet. If Liverpool starts sorting out the defence, if Mignolet keeps his spot as well, £4.7 million is not too bad for a decent goalkeeper. Moving on from that, we have the defenders, and the six that performed best, or at least the six I picked out, were Dan, Keane, David Luiz, Delaney, Jones of Sunderland, and Yunus Cabal. Now, Dan scored 15 points, and he did what he's done for quite a few games and quite a few, big point-scoring games for him. He's grabbed a goal and grabbed a clean sheet. It's the Dan double, basically. It's the Dan double, but I would steer clear of Dan. I'd also steer clear of Delaney, because he also Palace, Jones as well, and also Cabal. Cabal got it for scoring a goal, I believe. Pretty decent one, to be fair. But I wouldn't go near him because Watford are a bit inconsistent. I don't particularly like banking on Watford. You've also got Dan and Delaney on a changing Palace side, so I'd let them bold in a bit. They might do well in the next couple of game weeks, then you can bring them in, but for now I'd say wait, because they could also have a few hiccups, because they're not quite Sam Allardyce like yet. But Keane, £4.9 million, I'd say look at him, but also look at cheaper options in the Burnley defence. They can also be good, but he is going to be the main point scorer. He is their best defender, and I don't think, unfortunately, he'll be at the club too much longer. You've also got David Luiz. Again, another good point scoring week for David Luiz. He picked up a decent points total this week, grabbing himself nice 2 bonus points in a 1-1 draw for the goal he scored, pretty much. Nice goal, I have to admit. And you've also got Cabal down at the bottom. You've got Jones. I'd say stay away from Jones as well. £4.4 million for the Sunderland defence. Stay away from Jones because it's Sunderland, basically. And Delaney, not really the point scorers you'd want or you'd expect from this game week. But I'd say Dan in a few weeks maybe, or check out how he's playing. But Keane, I'd say, is probably your safest bet in these six. Moving on from that, we have the midfielders, and we've got Sigurdsson on 13 points, Wijnaldum on 10 points, Silva on 10 points, and we've got Iwobi on 8, and Sterling and Morrison of West Brom on 8. Pretty, high scorers. As Sigurdsson is looking good, but maybe hold out a week, just a week, because his next game is against Chelsea. I believe it is away as well, so there's only one way that's going, isn't it? There's only one way that's going, and I can just see a landslide Chelsea victory. Although Swansea, again, are improving under new management, I'd say, again, give it time. After this game week, I'd say shove them in there. Got decent fixtures from them, but against Chelsea, I can't see him doing much. Famous last words. Feel free to quote me if he goes and does bits against Chelsea. Wijnaldum, £7.5 million, also scored 10. He's a sort of the Liverpool midfielder I'd stay away from. £7.5 million, there are better options for that price out there, probably a lot cheaper. Silva as well is one I'd stay away from. 8.6 for someone that could get rotated quite a bit in Pep Guardiola's rotation system. I'm not a big fan of him either. Iwobi, however, I am a fan. He has been in the first team for quite a while now, quite a good run, and he's also scoring a decent amount of points. It isn't consistent in every game, but he is proving to be quite a key player for Arsenal. Actually bedding himself into the team quite well. Another goal, although albeit didn't really matter in the long scheme of things. But 9 points, £5.9 million buys you a ticket into the Arsenal attack. That's not too bad, if I say so myself. You also got Sterling and Morrison on 8. Sterling is what I like. He's been a permanent fixture in the last couple of weeks under Pep Guardiola, and he's getting decent returns, so I'd consider Sterling, as Man City have a few decent games lined up. And also Mr. Morrison, who scored 4 goals now this season, more than he did in the whole of last season, and he's £4.6 million. Cheap little player, but, again, it could be a nice little player to have in your team and pick up points just for playing at least. And lastly, we've got the attack, and again, strikers were, a bit off. So we're going to have a look at the strikers. It's Jesus on 9 million. You got Crouch on 4.9. Jesus scoring 11 points. Crouch scoring 9 points, along with Deeney also scoring 9 points. Negredo and Long scoring 7, and Christian Benteke chose in the last spot, picking 6. Now Jesus scoring 11. The Messiah is here. He's had a decent start to his career, and with a decent few fixtures coming up, I can't see him being put back out for Aguero. It'd be so cruel to have Aguero start instead of Jesus after he scored a goal and assist. He's had a really good start to his City career, so I'd say I'm pretty much certain I'm bringing Jesus in for Crouch. If you don't have the money to bring in Jesus, say Crouch is in form, although there is the threat of Berahino. The minute he does get his foot off the gas, Berahino could come steaming in for that starting spot, so you never know. Be wary of that for Crouch, but £4.9 million is pretty good for an attacker that's in form, scoring goals every week pretty much. Deeney is one I'd avoid. I'd avoid a lot of the bottom ones. I'd avoid Deeney at 6.6, I'd avoid Negredo at 6.3, and Long at 6.1, at least for the next few weeks, just so you can see how they do, because they're not consistent scorers. Deeney is has not been consistent the whole of this season, not really had a good season, but he could be kicking things into gear. He's been better recently. Negredo has been a few goals here, then no goals for quite a few weeks, a few goals here, then no goals for quite a few weeks, so he's a bit inconsistent. As to for Long, when will Charlie Austin return? You also got Jay Rodriguez, you've got Gabbiadini who signed. How long will he have his starting place for? I'm not sure. What I do like the looks of is Christian Benteke. Now, if anyone knows how to get a pretty good striker scoring, it is Sam Allardyce. He got Defoe scoring quite a lot, although he has done that this season, not as much as Allardyce had for him last season. Benteke, I feel like, could reap rewards under Sam Allardyce's maybe a big man up top situation, but goals and assists could be flying his way, and I think Benteke could be a decent little purchase for you. And that happens to be that for this video. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. And let me know, how did your game week go? I got 41 points and had green arrows, and I've had weeks where I've got 70 points and had red arrows, so it's just one of them weeks. Fortunately, had a decent few players in there. Heaton saved me, Walker saved me, Crouch and Peters on my bench though, scoring 4 points for Peters, 9 for Crouch, so that could lift me up even higher, but what will be will be. Thank you all for watching nonetheless. Hopefully I've enjoyed. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and peace.